Welcome in to the Arkansas Sports Network's Hometown Sports Football Preview, proudly presented by Arkansas Tech University, D3 Auto Sales, and by Metcalf Trucking Company. Today we sit down with the head coach of the Bearden Bears, Greg Anthony.
I'd like to welcome everybody in. We've got Coach Brandon Austin here of the Bearden Bears. Excited for this upcoming 2024 season. Coach Austin, welcome in, and talk to me a little bit about how long you've been here and what's happened so far since you got here. Maybe a little background as well before you got here.
Okay, this will be my 6th year here.
Okay.
I came in as a defensive coordinator 5 years ago, and the past 2 years I've been the head coach here. Before that, I did a few years in Hampton and coached a few places out in Texas. But we've really started kind of getting the program going here, continuing to improve on our record each of the last 2 seasons. So I think we're headed in the right direction.
Right. Yeah, and that's great. Last year, y'all struggled overall, but 3-2, ended up with the winning record in conference, made the playoffs. Who'd y'all get?
We ended up with East Poinsett County.
Yeah, East Poinsett County.
They were a buzzsaw for sure.
Oh, man, that Northeast up there was rough last year. Of course, y'all played some of them, in your conference. Carlisle, and they're always good. Hazen's always been good for a long time. Cross County was a really good team last year. I mean, y'all had a tough schedule. I was looking at last year's schedule. You started out with Drew Central, who's pretty solid. Then Murfreesboro. Did they end up winning it? I think they did.
They were semifinals.
Yeah, okay, that's right.
Extremely tough team, though.
Yes. Oh, we did one of their games. It was against Mineral Springs. It was a conference championship, and they beat them. This first loss Mineral had, and Murfreesboro, that place was rocking that night. They got excited over there for football. So Bearden, they've got a super rich tradition. But when you got here, things had kind of gone off the table a little bit. So, like we said, 3-2 last year in conference, kind of working your way, and maybe not as fast as you want, but it sounds like it's trajecting in the right.
Well, we got a lot of young guys. A lot of freshmen that we had to use last year in pivotal games. Those guys will be sophomores this year with a lot of senior high experience. Got a really strong junior class. We've got 4 seniors this year that have been with us, since the beginning, since they were in 9th grade, and they're big contributors on both sides of the ball. So as far as toughness and depth, I think this is probably going to be one of the deepest groups, one of the deepest rosters we've had since I've been here. So I'm excited. I think we're going to have a really good season this year.
Nice. Talk to me about your assistant coaches, who you got helping you out.
Yeah, I got longtime assistant Bryce Burrows. He's going to be my offensive coordinator this year. He's been with me since I got here. So he does a really good job.
What is y'all's offense?
We're more of a power spread.
Okay.
We kind of adjust and adapt based on what we got to do each week, but we would like to be powerful up front and try to run the ball as much as possible. Throw it when we can, but if we can establish the run game, that's really what we're looking to do.
Right. Defensively, are you the D coordinator too?
I'll be the D coordinator, but I also have Raymond Busby, who will be assistant DC this year. This will be his first year with us, so we kind of want to get him into knowing the schemes and everything we do defensively. We also have Josh Nix, be our O-line coach, and D-line coach. We have David Clark coming back. He's been coaching 20-plus years of coaching experience, so he's back on staff this year. I think having his experience will really help us out. We also have Josh Cowell, another coach, who will help out a lot with special teams and things like that.
Nice. Y'all talk to me a little bit about your returning guys. Did you have anybody that made all conference that returns this coming season?
Yes, we've got Markevius Jimerson. He's kind of our do-it-all guy. Real athletic. Played some quarterback for us last year. Played some wide receiver. Second leading tackler for us last year on defense at outside linebacker. We also have Matthew Chambers coming back. Now, he was a freshman last year. We moved him up week 5 against the Episcopal and led the team in rushing, scored 2 touchdowns. So he was a great move up, right off the bat. So he'll be a returning starter for us this year. Hunter Stringfellow, this will be his senior year. Led the team in tackles last year. I hope that he leads the team in tackles again this year. Just linebacker, defensive tackle, wherever we need from week to week. He's just an athlete. He's a 300-pound bench press guy. Only weighs 210, so he's not huge, but extremely strong up front. So that's real big for us. We also have we've got Sean Berry coming back. Kamari Nettles also coming back. He was our corner, all conference corner last year. Playing some wide receiver for us when we do throw the ball. Things like that. So we've got quite a bit of depth coming back. I'm excited.
Yes. How many actual seniors are on the team?
We'll have 4.
4 seniors. You said it's a pretty big junior class.
Extremely big junior class. 7 of those juniors and 11 sophomores.
Okay, and a lot of those played.
And a lot of those guys played last year.
Nice. That's a lot of depth. Coming back, got some experience. Always nice when you got some freshman kids that can come up and, like you were talking about Chambers, who I think you said he had 2 touchdowns in one game, and that's huge to kind of build upon for the next few years. What would you say right now your strengths on this team would be? Would it be having some experience? What else would you say?
I would say experience. Defensively, we're returning 8 starters on the defense, so we only had to fill in 3 spots defensively, and we've gotten a chance to team camp a little bit this summer, so we've kind of seen who we're going to put in those positions. Still letting the guys kind of battle it out and compete for those spots, but having the guys understand what we're doing defensively, I think is going to be huge for us. Kind of gives us a jump start on everybody.
Helps them be able to play faster. Offensively, would you say how's your lines look, or would you say you're more probably strengths are in the skill guys, or more on the line? Our strengths
right now, I believe, are probably skill guys. Those guys, and that's strictly because those guys are more of our returning starters that have the experience. We're going to probably more than likely have 4 or 5 sophomores on the offensive line.
Okay.
We've got Jace Reeves, who's one of our seniors, but he had a knee injury in the spring, so we're trying to get him back. We're hoping he'll be back by week 0, but right now it's just kind of touch and go on it. He had surgery a week ago, so we're trying to get him ready to go. But if not, we'll have those sophomore guys that, like I said, had a little bit of experience. So I think they'll be okay.
Nice. You talked about your team camp, some of the places y'all have kind of went to camp and seen against other. I see that y'all got a couple teams moving in this year, Poland and England. I think they're both new to the conference. Who'd y'all lose? Looks like you lost.
We actually brought in Clarendon and Poland. England was already with us, and I believe the team that we lost was Episcopal, moved up to 3A.
I see.
So the rest of the conference stayed the same, and they added 2 teams.
Okay, so pretty good. You got Hazen, Baptist Prep, Clarendon, Hampton, Poland, England. So you did lose Mineral Springs, so is that correct?
Mineral Springs was
they weren't in your conference. That was just a non-conference game.
Yeah, that was.
Okay, so it looks like y'all kind of hit your trend a little bit. Your peak last year. Towards the end of the year, in the middle of conference, you got the wins against Hampton and Episcopal and Baptist Prep. It was like you won 3 weeks in a row. And then you played Hazen. Everybody knows Hazen was the defending state champs at that point. They were still really good last year. Had a lot of good players still on defense. They had Braylon Anderson? I've done a couple games of him.
They were tough.
He's good. And you hit a little momentum going there. Earlier in the year, you had some tougher games that teams that they were probably better than that you might have lost a little bit, but 30-12. Much more respectable score there after you had that momentum. And then, of course, you had to play East Poinsett in the playoffs, and they're like Hazen, and even crazier on offense. Right. That offense was really clicking last year. So it's great what I'm hearing. It sounds like you got a lot of guys coming back, and those freshmen we talked about, a lot of returning guys. Looks like you are poised to take another step in the right direction, like you said at the start.
I would think so.
Yeah, that's huge. So really, I think we've covered about it all. I would like to ask you, what is Bearden As we close here, what does Bearden need to do this year to continue to go on the right trend and kind of take that next step?
I just think the buy-in is there. The guys understand that it's going to take a lot of work. It takes the work in the summer, the team camps, the hitting the weight room. I think our strength, team strength in the weight room has improved this year, so I think we'll see that on Friday nights.
Nice.
I think we'll be able to battle up front a lot more, sustain drives, finish games. We had trouble with that at the beginning of the season last year.
Okay.
And I think if we can start off doing that at the start of the season, I think that trend will carry on deeper into the season. And hopefully, if we're fortunate enough to be one of the teams that makes the playoffs, I would think that we'll be able to make some type of run this year.
Yeah, and that sounds right. And y'all's non-conference, you're definitely not taking it easy. You're getting your guys battle tested. You got Episcopal and Mount Ida. I mean, they've been a tradition-rich powerhouse. Of course, they run that some type of veer bone kind of offense, and you're going to feel it when you play them. You're always the next day. It's physical. But talk to me a little bit about, as we close here, the Arbin Woods out of Louisiana.
Yeah, that's a respectable program down there in Farmersville, Louisiana.
Okay.
They're going to give us a good test on the spread offense. I think we need to see a team that's going to air it out. I kind of wanted to find somebody that I thought would give us a good look at that, because we do have teams like Carlisle that are going to throw the ball on us, and England likes to spread it around and throw it. So I figured it'd be a good idea to kind of cut our teeth with that in a non-conference game before we got to those guys.
Yeah, looks like you're going to be battle tested, and then you get to go to, I don't know if it's away or not, but you got Hazen. Looks like you're going to get Hazen at home. I don't know if home and away are on here, but yeah, they are. There they are. Yeah, you're going to go to Hazen. Then you'll get Baptist Prep. Last year, that was a win for you, a pretty good one. So looks like you are going to be ready to go when conference play gets here. Like you said, kind of a slow start last year, but hopefully it's looking like it'll be off to a quicker start this year.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody, that is Coach Brandon Austin of the Bearden Bears. So year 6.
Year 6?
Actually, year 3 as a head coach, right? And trying to get things back in the right direction, bring that tradition-rich Bears football that everybody knows in this area. Got Junction City down the road, that old rivalry. One day maybe y'all be clashing heads again pretty soon, but you never know how all that works out with conference realignment all the time. But I appreciate you taking the time with us today. This is Dran Miller with Arkansas Sports Network. Brandon Austin, we're going to say goodbye.
Thanks again for joining us on the Arkansas Sports Network's Hometown Sports Football Preview. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Arkansas Sports Network on YouTube to catch more previews and all the latest updates on your favorite teams.